The Devious Evil Turtle Slash is what we're talking today on Toy Art. My name is Zach, and I'm your host. So let's jump in, talk about Slash, who I think over the years has had one of the biggest impacts on me as an artist. And also just I feel like they have really just been knocking it out of the park in the last couple of years of making different Slash figures. Just like Skeletor, I have a little bit of a collection of just Slash figures. So I'm going to show you those here, and we're going to have a great time with it. So before we get into it though, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, ring the bell for notifications, and then let's party on. Up first is the 1990 Slash, one of my favorite figures of all time, which was really a big influence on my art style. And you can see him here, whoops, if I don't drop him. All his accessories are in a pink deco. He's got an awesome purple for both his shoulder pads and his belt, and as well as his claws right here, as you can see around there. Then there's that wonderful yellow that jumps in and pops as a what you call it? Damn it, come on, dude. You've got an awesome yellow that jumps in as a complementary color to the purples. And really, it's just like, it is very 90s-tastic by all means. Like, the color harmony between the turquoise, the purple, and the yellow, and the pink screams 1990, which was the year that this figure was released. And again, I cannot overstate how much this influenced me as a cartoonist with these one exaggerated eye, one small one, the big chonky teeth coming around the backside over here. This wonderful, amazing color scheme really pops for him. And I really think this is a true piece of toy art. So up next here, I've got the Super 7 Slash of the same variation of the 1990s one. I'm going to put them together real quick so you can kind of just see like how big that Ultimates figure is, beast mode for this Slash. And yes, I have ordered the glow-in-the-dark version. I couldn't resist. So let's pull him out. Talk about this, some of the updates. We made our turquoise a little bit of a darker shade here. We kept the purples, lightened that purple up just a little bit. We gave the silver deco over to where those sharp parts would be. But we kept the purples and the pinks. We kept the yellows and the darker turquoise shell on the back here. This sword actually is all silver and black, so that's a big change. We got another a sai here as well that he didn't have originally. And he is just a big beast of a monster. I think his teeth and his eye are a little less exaggerated. But man, what a wonderful superposable figure and great update. And really, like, his legs are a little loosey-goosey, but not too bad. Not too bad. Like, despite what you might be hearing about Super 7, they still have some pretty good quality control over most all of this. This is not a figure I'm mad that I have in my collection by any means. He's also heavy. Man, like, comparatively to the other Slash that I have on through over here. So it's a great update to that 1990s Slash that I have in my collection, and standing them next to each other. I'll do some shot comparisons here as I'm talking about them, right, and show you like the two of them next to each other. They look so good next to each other. I love the little touch-ups here to these skulls to make them stand out, and the black on the behind the yellow really makes that yellow pop out. I think that was a really cool design choice. What you might be seeing as well is there's some awesome sculpting and textural detail on this Slash, especially like, I'm gonna move this here, like right around his neck here. You got some really cool folds coming in that really gives him, I don't know, he looks so much more mean and vicious and kind of crazy on this one here. Super 7 does not slack on sculptural detail. And also I got removable ninja stars over here. His tail is just the same as the classic one. Like I said, a little bit darker, a little less day glow, but a really awesome piece of toy art. So the next one coming up is the Turtles in Time Slash, which is pretty similar in paint detail. It does have those like little pixelation paint jobs that NECA put in there. Made his sword quite a lot bigger, but he still has the purple and the turquoise. And I love how they made the pixelation shading on, cell shading on here. I think that's such a really cool step, especially with a more simple sculpt. And he's a lot skinnier, right? He's a lot more thin, but he's meant to be more like the actual Ninja Turtles in that game. So they pair up really nicely. Those are the ones I actually preferred having, was the Ninja Turtles that are from the Turtles in Time game. I love that arcade game. I love the original arcade game as well. The Super Nintendo games, they are all like top tier 90s games. As you move around here, things they have changed, right? So we've got like white right over here for the belt, and over for the shoulder pads and the spikes around on the back. You'll see he has a couple of different accessories on the back here. His shell has also changed color to a brown, and it shows off that pixelation effect. Again, this is a cartoon or video game, I should say. Cell shading that I don't mind at all. Some people are not too keen on it, but I really think he comes out nice and for the figure. And also you can see some of that on the side of his sword right over through here. His eyes are not as exaggerated, neither are his teeth, but I love that he has this big, crazy grin on through here. So this is like my definitive Slash, is that like 1990, the Super 7 one, and this one rounding out those three. I think, like I said, if you're a fan of the video games, this is such a great figure, and it's still widely available. I got this back in 2020, I want to say. This is a corner piece of my NECA turtle collection as well. So it was like one of the first ones I picked up from the NECA ones because they were stinking hard to find, and Big Bad Toy Store had tons of them. This is one where I did have to loosen up the joints by like soaking them. So it was before NECA really upgraded their tooling on here. So keep that in mind. You might have to give them a soak before posing. Never a bad idea. But he is a true piece of wonderful little toy art here. I also like how he kind of has like a little mohawk here for his spikes on the side. I think that's a really cool little small detail that makes this one more unique. Okay, so this is where we're going to start seeing things get quite a bit different. This is Slash from the TMNT 2-pack with Leatherneck. This is the cartoon accurate Slash. Still working with those purples, right? But he's got a lot more blue. He's got one big eye, a lot less sharp teeth. I'm sure like that had something to do with how the network wanted those characters portrayed. He's got a pretty awesome big sword. Still has his spikes, and those are in purples here. His swords aren't, like he has two of them, but they're not all gangly, I guess, and like prehistoric. I guess the prehistoric times they had swords that were all like misshapen, right? So again, he has a probably very similar back sculpt to that, like that digital one here. As you move it around, it is definitely, the yellows are there. The shell is one color right over through here, and he has some blues put in there. And I just love on these that they have like the actual black lines. All right, main event time, y'all. And this is the brand new comic accurate Slash, and he is a beast. And I love how they used blue and white on this to do some of that cartoon shading. They still have, like the previous cartoon one, we still have lots of black lines. But they're thicker black lines to indicate that this was used with a brush, not with a pen like you would in animation. I think that is a wonderful, subtle uniqueness that this character has. Like I said, those are big, thick brush lines down the thigh. There's also some different outlining on the front torso of the shell. And you can also see some of those thicker lines on the different weapons here as well, too. He still has one big eye, and he still has grisly teeth, but he really has something that's a little bit more, like, less cartoonish and more like comic book, like realistic, as I guess I would call it. Because there's certain levels of realism that comics get into, and while there's still big goofy comic book characters, we still want some grit. We still want something believable going on there, even though we're talking about like mutant turtle men. So coming around back, his shoulder pads are white. His belt is white, but like the shading comes down with a little bit of blue there. The slash, the big backward slash, is still there represented on black. And this time we have a different color, like a more of like some of that throwback to that turquoise, and also that mohawk style shell is still here. Every slash has different elements, but every slash also has very similar elements that come into play, like the shell, like the big eye. Right? Every last one of them has had a big eye in one format, and that's what makes him a unique, possibly crazy turtle over here. I think this one really knocked out of the park. I'm excited for more of this comic line if they keep up with the same quality. The fact that there's so much sculpt detail, especially up on the top of that noggin, these little spots and warts are a great feature. They make it like comic booky without feeling like over-rendered and overdone. It is a super fun figure, and the last one out of all of them that I have here, and I really think if you see this one, you need to pick it up. It is such a cool figure, such a great addition to the Ninja Turtles line. I am just looking so forward to more comic accurate turtles coming down the line, and I hope I get some more slashes along the way here. And that's why I think this last one, of course, is a nice piece of toy art. So as you can see, it wasn't every last Slash figure. I don't have the retro reaction. There we go. I don't have the Super 7 reaction Slash yet. There's also one from the last couple of years in the Ninja Turtles line, the more cartoony line, so that I haven't gotten. It's a slash Spike figure that I just haven't put my hands on yet. So we're gonna just jump on eBay and get him pretty soon. So I didn't include those. Some of you might also be wondering about Toka and why I didn't include him. And I really want Toka to have been his own thing. That Toka and Razor 2-pack is phenomenal. And you better believe I'm going to make a toy art video about that pretty soon here. So that's Slash, a little retrospective from the beginning of his figures to the modern day. I hope you all really enjoyed it. Share it with a friend. And of course, hit that bell and subscribe for me. Get this out into the world. And I'd love for y'all to see some more of me talking toy art. Thank you again so much, and take care.